So people like me in their 60s, sometimes even in your 50s, depending on your health, we want to start talking about the potential for catastrophic healthcare events that aren't covered by insurance.
Okay.
We want to make sure
Does this include like Alzheimer's and the need for additional special care, or just as basic as a nursing facility in general?
Both.
Right.
And also, if you have, suppose you're in a car accident, and for some reason you now have bills that are just not manageable by insurance. You're not going to be eligible for Medicaid at this point. You don't have Medicare because you're too young, and your personal insurance doesn't cover it. You can wipe you out financially.
Yeah.
So our goal is to think about whether that's an issue for the client. Just to kind of take a step back, think about doctors and lawyers and captains of industry. They all know that there is a potential for litigation. Okay. So that potential for litigation is something that they plan for. And part of the way we plan for that is to set aside money in an irrevocable trust that's asset protected, another new word, asset protected.
Asset protection.
So that person can then manage that property, benefit from it, but then an outside interlocutor.
These are insurable liabilities. So when we talk about doctors and lawyers, just for everybody else
they're insurable,
watching.
But what happens if the liability exceeds the insurance? That's what we're talking about. We insure first, and then we talk about protecting the assets. And we can protect the assets both against creditors, predators, in-laws, and outlaws, and also, if we need to, for tax purposes, for federal estate tax and state estate tax purposes.
But they have separate things set up for malpractice or whatnot, right?
Correct.
But you're going to come in and help say that this goes outside the bounds.
Right. This is supplemental planning.
How do I not get my house taken away as a doctor if I'm a pediatrician or a specialist and I get sued on the outside of my insurance?
Or my retirement plan, or this insurance that I just spent years
Would this include things like a divorce too? Or could it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
We just have to pick the right state in which to put our trust.
Got it.
Okay. So there are a lot of moving parts when we talk about things like that.
Sure,
so I want to simplify it and just say, let's put money aside in a bucket just in case bad things happen, because we know bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
So we have to recognize that money that we set aside isn't ours anymore. We're going to trust somebody else to manage it for us and make sure we're taken care of. Okay. So that is our goal. So we have to think about, what is the risk? What is the risk of a catastrophic healthcare event?
Yeah.
What's the risk of needing long-term care in a nursing home or at home?
When you say risk, are you talking about calculated percentage of the odds that this may happen, or
I don't
just
think it's,
if and when? How would I be prepared?
It's not that technical. Okay. Really, it's like, is this something I'm thinking about? Is this something that my family's gone through? I had two grandparents that went through a nursing home. My dad was in a nursing home. My mom was in a nursing home. They weren't there for very long, but it was really, really expensive.
Sure. Yeah.
I have clients that have been in nursing homes for decades. Okay. And their money just dried up. And at the end of the day, their family gets nothing.